Got you. And once you completed your time in PwC, then you switched into Align Associates as a director. How was that process like? And how was the comparison between risk assurance and then being a director at this new company?
Align Associates is basically my own consultancy. So
Yeah.
it's my own practice that I run, and I do consultancy gigs across the different areas. So how the whole transition happened was when I was working in PwC. Again, you have to do those long hours, you have to do those crazy hours, and while you were doing it, I had a family situation. So at that time, it was very hard to put in the crazy number of hours while achieving what I wanted because I was at a fast track of promotions for
Yeah.
my 6 years. So I wanted to go for senior manager next year. And if I wanted to go for senior manager, then I couldn't deal with the pressures of it. So at that point, I had to make a decision. So I went with starting my own gig because then I could manage my hours. It was very interesting because in the farms, you have a set level of work that you have to go with. There's hardly ever you hear that, oh, I don't have work.
Yeah.
But when you have your own consultancy, again, the power of networking comes in, right? Because
Yeah.
you have to find your own work. In the firms, they have their own clients, and you have to find work in that situation as well to build your business case to become directors or partners. But at my level, you didn't have to go find work. As compared to when you have your own thing, then your focus is finding your own work. So it's a different kind of game you're playing at that time because it's more sales driven rather than delivery driven. So
Right.
that mindset took time to change because I wasn't coming from the consulting world, right? Consulting world, you are used to selling. I was coming from the risk assurance world where everyone wants assurance. Regulations always have to be followed, whether you're going through a bad time or a good time. In consultancy, if you're going through a bad market, you just don't have work, right? So
Yeah.
because I was coming from risk assurance, I always had that safety. When you started your own thing, now you have to come in that consulting way of how do I sell my business and kind of get the work. So that's how it's different.
Got you. And how did you get that drive to get new customers and clients as well and work through that? And you also have the other components of the business, right? Like you got marketing, you got all these different areas, considering that you're owning the company itself. So how was that like? And I'm assuming it's incredibly challenging, right?
Again, it comes down to the power of networking. Even through COVID, I didn't have a situation when I wasn't working
Wow.
because I had developed a network. That's where it
Yeah.
comes down to your network, right? If you have strong people, if you have good mentors, if you're just honestly nice to people and people like you, they will find work for you. So it was pretty much like I was the same mentors and same people that I used to work. I was one of the directors by SACA for a long time, which is basically this. It's like a CPA designation. CISA. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's on. So it says it's the IT is the IT designation, which is equivalent to CPA, which is the finance designation. So I was on a SACA board for a few years. So over there, I had met a lot of people as well. So that's how I built my network. So by the time I started my own thing, touchwood, I knew sufficient people that I could keep going with.
Got you. And how did you maintain that? It's very hard, I find, to sometimes maintain that network. You meet these new individuals and then you move on in your life. But how do you maintain that connection? It, might help in the future, or do you keep that in mind, or what's your process if you haven't?
So it's the very small things, Azam. At the end of the day, how I think about it is everyone is a human. Even if you're a partner, even if you're a VP, whatever you are, at the end of it, everyone is human and everyone wants that connection as people,
Yes.
right? So if you're just kind to people, it's as small as sending them a holiday card. Like right now, the holiday season is coming, right? It's as simple as sending a holiday card to them and saying, I remember you, or just messaging them on LinkedIn and saying, I saw this post. It's really nice of you. I'm so glad you got promoted. Or just saying, messaging, leaving a message,
Yeah.
or sending an email once in a while. If you haven't spoken, hey, I haven't spoken to you. Let's grab coffee. So it's a very small thing, right? You don't have to do very big gestures to be connected,
Right.
right? You can just do very small things as just going for coffee or just sending a card or just saying, I'm thinking about you or sending an email. These small things people remember.
Right.
And then they just remember you as a person. And if they like working with you and you have a strong work ethic, like that's the basic of everything, right? Yes, you
Right.
can. get into a market, but if your work is not the quality that they're expecting, they won't ask you the next time. So you need to make sure your work is quality is good. And then once you're confident that you can deliver a good thing, then it's about doing the small gestures to keep the connection going.